What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at @6th_element_comic. Peace. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 6th Element of Hip Hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir. This is my co-host, Stu Dog, right here, and my co-host, Sada. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Peace. Yes. We have a cool show today. We're going to talk about some things. It is typically Wars Wednesday. Typically, we do reviews and things. We're going to review a little bit of She-Hulk and do a little tribute to an artist that passed away not recently. Well, recently is in last year. But I wanted to just bring some light to this artist just because I was just, checking his stuff out and looking into it and looking at Static and all of that from Milestone and things like that. And I just thought this guy is amazing. This guy has some amazing art. He deserves some flowers, even though he's already gone. But let's give him some flowers, man. Let's talk about his stuff. His name is John Paul Leon, and he is not the creator of Static, but he did the rebirth of Static. So he's big part of Static Shock. But he did a lot of other things. I mean, Daredevil, X-Men, Batman, Beta Ray Bill, like you name it. Like he's all over the place. So we'll definitely check out some of his work and things. And but we got a clip from She-Hulk to show you guys. We'll check that out because Stu, isn't it? It's tonight at midnight.
Sometime tonight, or like midnight, or maybe 2 in the morning.
3 a.m. on the East Coast.
3 a.m. on the East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah. So technically tomorrow morning, but
if you don't, technically, if you get home at 3 in the morning, you good. You get home at 6 in the morning, you good. You get home at 8 in the morning, you better. If you wake up at 8 in the morning, you can have breakfast and She-Hulk. I mean, however you want to do it, but know that it's not coming till the morning, the AM hours.
Right. Well,
and you can have waffles and She-Hulk, pancakes and She-Hulk, grits and She-Hulk. Yeah, She-Hulk and OJ. You can have mimosas and She-Hulk. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. That would be a way to watch it.
Sada lit right up when I said mimosas.
Didn't you see mimosas?
She said, wow.
Yeah, that's a way to watch it.
I don't know about buzz at 8 in the morning, but
Yeah.
Sada is 8. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon somewhere in the world.
Oh,
right.
Right. No matter what time it is where you at, it's always mimosa time somewhere else. So you can join them on the other side of the world.
That's right. So yeah, let's run this.
Now I finally,
She-Hulk
before we get started,
thing.
wait a minute. Before you do it, I finally got to watch Prey.
Oh,
Prey.
okay.
Oh.
And it was very good. It was a very good movie.
Yeah,
and the Predator, I understand what you, but that Predator that you saw was a feral predator, which is another species that lives on their planet, but they're more like a desert dwelling species of predator. So that they incorporate bone, like their thing is bone. They love to eat bone and chew bone. They're into bones. That species. They all live on the planet. So it's like if you have, like, on our planet, you have people that live in Africa or people that live in Europe, people that live in Asia. They all are the same, but they look different. They built different only because of the climate and stuff like. So those predators come from the desert. They're feral. They call them feral predators. They use technology just like the predators, but they like to. That's why the mask had all the bone on it, with the technology incorporated into it, because that's their thing, bone. And when he was killing the animals, he kept collecting all their bones and eating their bones. Like, he loved the flesh, but he ate the bone. Like, that's their thing. They're also, his dreads are thinner because he lives in a drier climate. His body's made to survive in a drier climate. Um,
Oh,
but he
interesting.
doesn't necessarily. Right. A lot of people don't know that, but there are different species of predator or yancha
Right.
that
Well,
live on
yeah,
that
they're definitely
planet.
different. Yeah.
Right. So he has a taller, slender look. He's sleeker. You know what I mean? He's not like the ones that we're used to seeing, the hunter
Mm-hmm.
class. And they
Yeah.
come from a different part of the planet and
Right.
they
And I
thrive in
read
heat
too
too.
the special effects guys and stuff. They said also that they did in fact were sort of doing like this is in the past for us, it's in the past for the predators too,
For
kind of
them.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember I told you that one before I even
Yeah,
seen
no,
it. So yeah.
I think that's to me it's not good writing, but it's what it is. It's what they did. So
Even though his
yeah.
weapons aren't as superior they're still more superior to humans.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, for sure. No,
I mean, I
and
thought it was well
it's a
written.
good it was good.
I thought it
Like
was a good
I
movie.
had fun watching it. Yeah, I thought it was good too.
And
I
you
thought it
know
was
what it
good.
reminded me
I
of,
like
Rena?
Predators a lot better though.
Predators is good.
I like
Predators is really
Predators
good.
a lot better.
But Prey
Yeah, that was
reminded me
great.
of that very first Predator movie. It just everything about it was just
Mm,
like, cause how she had to see Arnold had to plot to kill the Predator. He couldn't just go out there and kill him. He made some observations and he used that
mhm.
to his advantage to kill it. She did the
After they
same
killed
thing.
everybody else, after it killed all
Right.
his teammates, he watched
And
how
that's
it
what
did
happened
it,
to
how it killed everybody, and how
Right.
they, and then so he figured out that
Yeah.
it sees with heat vision, and covered himself in mud so it couldn't see his body heat because he deduced by the way it was hunting and the way it was tracking his teammates and the way it killed him that it was using thermal tracking. So he said, well, damn, let me cover my thermal and become invisible like he is, and then sort of even the playing field. It's genius.
Well, she did the same thing.
He did the same thing,
Remember,
sort of, yeah.
remember she took the flower. She had the flower that lowered your
Yeah,
body temperature
right.
and it made your blood slow down. So what she
Mhm,
did was when she noticed that when she gave it to the man, the one guy, to help slow his bleeding down, she noticed the predator couldn't see him until he
mm,
moved and then he started making noise, and that's when the predator just stabbed him. So then she deduced the same thing. She took the flower.
yeah, yeah,
And
Bless
yeah,
her.
it couldn't see her. Thank you. And it couldn't see her. It was harder for it to track her.
yeah.
And she also deduced too that if she wasn't a threat, it wouldn't kill her. When she got caught in the trap and
Yeah,
it had her dead to rights. But then it looked and seen the trap
she wasn't a
and
threat.
she was caught in somebody else's trap. So it was
Mhm,
just like, you know what, somebody else got you, boom. And it stepped off. Like, you know what? Like, you're not a threat and you caught in a trap. And get out of that and we can talk. Like it was just like
right.
that. Like he just left. But those hunters, those French guys, I mean, he cut them to shreds.
Oh, yeah,
He literally, yeah, he
yeah.
literally did. He just took off the cloak and gave them work. Like he was like,
They
you
were
know what?
just
I don't even need
idiots.
a cloak.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
just
he was like, I
morons.
ain't even cloaking today. He was like, I ain't cloaking today. You know what? I'm tired of y'all.
You just have fun with this,
It was like,
toy with these fools
yeah,
real quick.
yeah, he was a straight killer. That predator was a straight killer. But we do notice from watching Predators, because in Predators, those predators were rogue predators.
Yeah,
They were Yamcha and they were hunters, but they were rogue, which meant that they did not constrain to the normal rules of being a predator. They actually bought the prey there, hunted it. They went against all the rules. They had their own planet
yeah.
where they were doing stuff that predators don't normally do. So they were
Mhm.
rogue predators. Had the other predators found out, then they would have sent, one of those big predators like the one they had in
Send a
was it
hit squad
Predator?
for in Predators.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Remember, yeah,
Predators.
Predators, man, they had that super big predator.
Big
They
motherfucker.
would have,
Yeah.
yeah. That one is that's who they send when they need to take care of somebody or somebody get
Mhm.
out of line.
When
They
they
send
gotta
my man.
kill some of the predators, yeah. They gotta get
Yeah,
them.
so
They gotta
so you
get them.
gotta remember we had different species, or just and they do have rogue predators that we as we seen in the one movie. Those predators they
Mhm.
were just straight up rogue predators. They didn't follow the normal constraints. They didn't do anything the way they were supposed to do it. but they wanted to hunt so bad that they were willing to break the rules in order to hunt.
Right.
So they were
Yeah.
kind of like so they were kind of like special needs predators. So
No.
Have some needs.
yeah, because they didn't because they didn't agree. They were like, look, we don't agree with you going
Right.
to planets, stalking people out. It got to be hot. Look, I got a hot planet. I got jungle. Bring these jokers here, and then we're gonna knock them off one by one. And then whatever comes down the pipe, we're gonna knock it off. And that was what they did. But had the other predators found out, it wouldn't have been good.
Mm-hmm. Not good for the Yaoja.
Nah, not good for y'all. Hopefully, we get
Well,
another predator movie, another prey movie, or something like that. A new
yeah,
species.
they're gonna do a they're gonna do a trilogy. They're gonna do a trilogy off of it. We'll see, but Disney has been suffering from review bombing as of late, with many of its biggest releases facing a bombardment of negative reactions.
LOL.
In the last year alone, right? We had Eternals, Moon Knight, Obi-Wan, Lightyear, Ms. Marvel have all suffered from this unfortunate fate. Some before release, and others afterward for divisive content or representation. Eternals received hatred for featuring LGBTQIA plus relationships. Moon Knight was bombed for its inclusion of alleged propaganda. Ms. Marvel was widely framed as childish and woke. And only Thor: Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange and Multiverse have appeared to escape this review bombing trend out of the MCU's 2022 releases, which is amazing considering how bad Love and Thunder was. But now She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, is preparing to premiere on Disney Plus, and the early reactions from critics have proven to be extremely positive. But under a day away from the first episode, like less than few hours. So the MCU legal team, not legal team, legal comedy has suffered from the unfortunate review bombing trend of its predecessors. But She-Hulk has been facing review bombing on IMDb ahead of its Disney Plus premiere tomorrow. So with the majority of negative reactions coming from men over 30. So and you can probably assume men over 30, this is not going to be their favorite show. It might be good and it might be enjoyable, but it's not going to be our favorite thing. But the show currently has 44% 10 out of 10 ratings and 41% 1 out of 10 reactions, with fairly even mix of everything in between on IMDb. But the demographic shows an overwhelmingly positive response from women and a strong response from younger men. However, the show has faced significant negativity from men over 30. One critic referred to Entertainment Weekly's review where they called She-Hulk Marvel's horniest show yet, and questioned if
believe that.
Disney had forgotten who their target market is. They said this is the exact headline in Entertainment Weekly's article about how sex positive the show is. Disney, have you forgotten who your target market is? How many billions of dollars would you have not made off of families if the Avengers were sexing it up? And another called the visuals 1995 sci-fi channel effects, which that's pretty harsh because Stu, I'm sure you used to watch sci-fi in the 90s. Pretty bad. So that's terrible writing and terrible premise, they said. But because Sci-Fi Channel used to be, it was a Canadian channel, and they just had very bad programming. But anyway, they've gotten
Yes, they
so
did.
much better.
It was horrible.
Last
I
5
mean,
years,
yeah, last 5 year. I say I give him. I might even give him 10. Because when it started with Battlestar Galactica. When they did the reboot of
yeah,
Battlestar
a little bit,
Galactica,
a little bit.
it all got better. But before that,
Right.
The Sci-Fi Channel.
I would say it
is-
started with Expanse, but it could Battlestar is,
Yeah,
is
that
a
came in
good.
that time. Yeah, that came in that time. Okay,
Yeah, no,
Expanse,
yeah,
Battlestar
Expanse.
Galactica.
Yeah,
What was the other? It was a few
Expanse was
stuff
like
things they did. Yeah.
6 years ago. Yeah. Well, he
Stargate,
said
SG-1,
He
all
said
that.
if you can get past the 1995 Sci-Fi Channel effects, you're left with a terrible writing and premise for a show. The best argument against this show is how much the critics and media are pushing it. Need I say more? Spare your eyes and watch Iron Man 1 again. I mean, come on, dude. How many times are we going to watch Iron Man 1 again? Like, we do need some new stuff, and I don't think this is going to be that bad. I think this show is going to be just, fun and like Miss Marvel. Not my favorite show. I didn't even finish it yet, but I will probably, maybe.
Miss
But it
Marvel
was
was good.
decent. It was good.
Miss Marvel was good. It
It
was
was
good. I
good.
can't say anything. Yeah, I was
Comparing it
like
to
Sada.
Obi-Wan, it was
I was
phenomenal.
yeah. It
You know,
was.
I
I was like
still
Sada. I
haven't
was on the fence.
watched Miss Marvel. Well, actually, that's
Sada.
today. Actually, my dad put it on. He put
Okay.
on, I think it was the first episode. So I was kind of not paying attention, but I caught glimpses of it. It looked okay. It just, I'm not
Give it a
enticed
chance.
to go back and rewatch
Give
it,
it a chance.
but
Give it a
it just
chance.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Well, give it
nah.
a
You
chance.
gotta give it a
fair shot.
chance, Sada. I gave
Yeah,
it a
give it a
chance.
fair
I gave it a
shot.
And I
shot before
was
the show, and it
no
missed.
seriously.
I gave it a
I
shot.
was
No,
thoroughly
you got to sit
I was
down. You
thoroughly
got to watch
entertained.
it.
Now you gotta sit down and watch it. Yeah.
You got to
I'll
give
put
it
I
it
a
to you
chance.
like
did.
this.
I was
Continue.
sitting and I was looking at it from time to time, and it just didn't pull my
That's-
interest.
Okay.
If it had caught me, I would have kept looking. I would have looked up, been like, "Oh, that didn't happen."
Well, no, it's not. And you're right. And it's not going to like catch you and suck you in. It's just well made. That was my thing about it. It was just
yeah, I
well
like
made. It
It
was
is
the
well
well
camera
made.
written.
angles and
I
everything.
do agree
It's
with that. Yeah.
definitely well made. Definitely,
Yeah,
I
I
got
agree
that
with
within
that. It
the
is very
first
well made.
episode. So definitely,
And that's what I liked about it. Like, yes, it was well made, like versus Obi-Wan, which came out at basically the same time and was horribly made. So but yeah, someone said, please don't give negative reviews. It's not even released yet. I'm giving 10 stars to counter negative reviews of
What?
163 people without even watching the shows yet to be released. I
Yeah,
will
but let
change
me
my
give a
ratings
10
after
star, and
viewing.
I haven't watched it yet. Like that doesn't
Right.
help anything.
Well, and they said I will change my rating after I watch it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's fair.
But
But
yeah,
Well,
still.
I went on IGN. IGN reviewed it, and they said that out of all the shows that they've seen that Marvel's released on Disney, this one is the most comedic of all of
Yeah,
them.
that makes sense.
And they said it's very fun loving, very light. They said it's reminiscent in a way that when you bring it to the screen, if you're a comic book fan, that's what you get. Like comic book fans will get it. People that read She-Hulk comics or read She, they'll get it. They'll actually be entertained by it. But they said that anybody else will be, they'll kind of that's what it's the general audience. But they're saying that the
Yeah.
Right.
hardcore comic book fans, they'll like it because it
Yeah.
reads as kind of comical, like a She-Hulk comic. It's serious but comical at the same time.
Mhm.
But they said that the general audience is the ones that are gonna really make
Yeah,
or
that's
break
why I
this
think
show.
it's funny that guy was so butthurt over the show possibly being so sex positive because She-Hulk is a very sexual person. So
Yeah, she is. Yes,
it
she
was
is.
just really funny. And it's like, oh, the Avengers, what happened if they sex it up? Sure, why not? Have them kiss. At least it shows there's some romance in the MCU because they suck at that. So,
Yeah.
that would be nice.
Yeah. So one of these tweeters said angry white boys are review bombing the show before it has even released. Imagine determining the quality of a show you haven't watched based on your fragility and bigotry. They see anything that isn't a white straight man, and they throw a tantrum. Don't you grown ass men have anything better to do? Snowflakes.
Well,
It's
while
funny.
that's true, I think that may be an oversimplification of what's happening with the review bombing.
It is. It's but
it's
it but
definitely
it is
that
true.
definitely happens. I just don't
Yeah.
know if that can be applied to what's happening with She-Hulk.
Yeah, not as much as some other things, and I've seen some reviews from some cis white men that liked the show. They liked it a lot. They had nothing bad to say about it. So and because they have released the first 4 episodes, um, which some of us have gotten to see, but no point in doing like spoilers the day it's about to come out. So, but it's good. They do rehash. Well, they don't rehash. So episode 1 is probably the best of the 4, and they do, without spoilers, it is a origin issue, obviously, and they do change the origin from the comics, but
Oh,
not so much. Not so, and we expected that, but not so much that I think fans are gonna have a problem with it. They didn't change it, i- incredibly, just little alteration, but so it's not bad. But yeah, when the first, these negative reviews clearly are no reflection of the series quality, especially after the positive response from the people that have actually seen it. And both Moon Knight and Miss Marvel, suffered the same fate, but ended up being generally, praised by fans, about their whole 6-episode runs. And there's no telling exactly, why such a majority of these review bomb reactions have come from men over 30, but there's a good,
is it a
you
true
can probably
statistic?
figure it out. Well, yeah, and,
That isn't
yeah,
true,
but I think men over 30 are the majority of
that's true.
comic fans.
Yeah, that's true.
The
That's
majority of the
definitely
fandom is
true.
men over 30, so that's probably why that's what most of the reviews are. But there has been some controversy, surrounding the series on social media. But the series' tone and fourth wall breaking have proven divisive, which uh, many being particularly disappointed with seeing the Hulk represented in a comedic way. And a lot of people initially thought that they made She-Hulk stronger than Hulk because she threw the rock and it was fun. But later in the scene, you see he like puts the bigger rock into orbit. So that, you know, shut a lot of people up because they didn't show that scene in the first trailer. So when the first trailer come out, and that sort of got in people's mind, and they just, people are stupid and they don't know how to think.
People
But
know
that's on
Hulk
them
is
for
stronger than
marketing it like that because they knew what they
Yeah.
were doing by not including
right.
that context.
Right.
That's
Yep.
definitely on them. They knew what they were doing, and they knew the
Mhm.
conversations that would arise from having
Yeah.
that type of scene.
They like this. They
Because
like this publicity. Bad publicity is publicity. I mean,
Right.
look at all that. If they ever decide to put Batgirl out, it's an automatic success because of all the publicity. I mean, it's all, bad. But looking
Speaking of
ahead to the future,
Batgirl,
yeah, we'll
they
get to that
offered
too.
they offered, but you got to remember Hulk is strongest there is. We know that, but we
Yeah.
also know She-Hulk is more nimble. She's more agile. She's a lot more
Yeah.
gymnastic
Yeah.
than Hulk. Even in the
Yeah, I
comics,
think
we
that's
all
why it
know
makes sense that
that.
the
We
yoga
all know
thing.
this. So right,
Right.
right, yeah, she can
A lot of
control
people
her
were,
transformations like Awesome
and,
Hulk.
yeah, and people were saying that him doing yoga, they were like on Instagram, they're like showing pictures of him doing yoga, going, saying how they nerfed Hulk and made him weak. And I'm like, well, I've been a martial artist my whole life, and doing yoga does not mean he's weak. Every martial artist does yoga. Like that's a sign of him being, having control over his power. Like that's a sign of evolution. He's actually stronger for that. But
Right.
you don't know that. You think that
But
it's weak, but no,
you got to
actually yoga is.
remember, most of these comments are coming from casuals who not only don't read the comics, but they don't bother to actually do the research beforehand.
Yeah.
Just look at a
Right.
simple like Wikipedia article to
Right.
understand the character. So
Right.
I take that into consideration, and I'm like, you're full of crap. I'm over it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but like I said, looking ahead to the future, the trend of review bombing is showing no signs of slowing down, as Marvel Studios continues to suffer this fate regularly. One can easily imagine the reactions that Black Panther Wakanda Forever is going to face later this year, as it's rumored to replace the late Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa with Letitia Wright's Shuri in the starring role, in Heroic Mantle. And not only is the mass negative reactions to She-Hulk dangerous, but so are the huge number of 10 out of 10 reactions. So as many, continue to give opinions on the latest projects before even seeing them. But perhaps, review sites like IMDb should prohibit users from leaving thoughts until after the release to prevent trends like this in the future. That would be, common sense. It's surprising that you can review something that's not out yet. That's kind of stupid. They set themselves up for this, but like you said, Sada, I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know they're setting
And
up
then
these
that's kind of
conversations.
tricky because early reviewers, they get access before it officially comes out. So it's
Right.
early. I mean, it's kind of hard to kind of restrict that, but it's a
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't
So
that the whole purpose of a review? I mean, I could see if it was like
there's a
a
preview
consensus.
and then there's a
Like if there
review.
was
Right?
right, if there's a consensus. So like if you're saying, okay, we're gonna go with the majority of whether it's good or not, that's one thing. But to give it to one person that does review things and then ask their opinion, because all it really is anybody's opinion.
Right.
Like I know people that don't like something like we always talk about uh Man of Steel. How people always talk
Mhm.
about how Man of Steel was a great. I thought Man of Steel was bomb. I thought it was a bomb
Yeah.
movie.
Awesome.
I was waiting for a second
Great.
part,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But you got a lot of people that say Batman versus Superman. Oh, I thought Batman versus Superman was great. I thought it was bomb. I was like, damn, this shit was great.
Yeah.
It was worth my time and energy. It depends on the person. Everybody's entitled to their
Yeah.
opinion. And these
That's true.
reviewers, I think they should just lay their review down and say, this is what I liked and didn't like. But at the end of it, also do like Siskel and Ebert used to do and say, check it out for yourself and see what you think. They don't
Right.
do that. It's like what I say
Yeah.
is God, and if I don't like it, nobody
Right.
can like it.
Then we're gonna get into a
Yeah,
whole debate about it. And in the end, I'm
exactly.
still God.
Right. That makes no
Right.
sense.
Yeah. It's very, very strange. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder. I guess we'll see. Has She-Hulk have they fixed She-Hulk's problematic CGI? This is a tongue twister. So
Oof.
Marvel Studios mostly fixed She-Hulk's CGI ahead of the Disney Plus show's release. When it first, announced that Jennifer Walters would be, the star of it, of the show. One of the biggest questions was how often she would be in her She-Hulk form. But because unlike Bruce Banner, the comics have traditionally shown her as She-Hulk, and having full control of her hulking out. She can just do it when she wants to. And the reason this was such a big topic was the idea of having a CGI character lead a TV show and the potential for, the visual effects to underwhelm, even with the movie-sized budgets that Marvel uses. And it would be it's mad expensive. But the first looks at She-Hulk showed why there were concerns over the show's CGI, and the early teasers raised even more worry. In the whole comparisons to Shrek, She-Shrek or whatever, and the whole outcry. But thankfully, She-Hulk's problematic CGI is mostly not a concern in the show itself. Compared to the early teasers, it is clear that the various VFX houses working on the series spent the last few months refining the visuals in most of the places. The She-Hulk CGI is not perfect by any means, though. I don't know if it's going to be different though when we see the show. But so far, but the series typically delivers a believable looking She-Hulk. But her character design does not allow Marvel the chance to add a lot of the detail baked into Smart Hulk's design at this stage, like stubble and things like that, and little, so there is a smoothness to her green skin that can kind of look uncanny valley at times, look kind of fake, cartoony, but improvements to her skin's texture and other small details have certainly been made over time to make her look more real. And I imagine, just being a female without having stubble or anything like that, it can look, just to make it smooth, and then it's green, so it can make it look kind of funky. But there are instances where the She-Hulk, the CGI rather, does not look, as good as it needs to, though. And one of the biggest challenges that that they said that the design comes with combining Tatiana Maslany's looks with the Hulk, in the lawyer clothing. But her weakest CGI moments often come as she's interacting with other characters. Like when it's just her talking, it's fine, but such as like when she's at work and things like that, it doesn't help that most of the show's events take place during the day, right? So Marvel does not even have the chance to hide it with like shadows and night sky and stuff like that. So it's a big project to do this, the way they're doing it. So it'll be it remains to be seen if they can pull it off, but it'll be impressive, man, if they do. The moments where her CGI is really distracting, could pull viewers out of the show and could indicate that Marvel needed to wait longer to release it or cut down the amount of time that she's in Hulk form, but I think it would be criticized really harshly if she was not She-Hulk that much, like
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, that's not gonna fly. Marvel shows in the past where they've not suited up or not worn the mask, like Iron Fist or whatever, have not been successful. You got to give us the suits, man. We got to see our characters looking like the characters, not just people in regular clothes. Then
Right.
it's just
Because then if we wanted a series called Jennifer Walters,
right.
then I guess we wouldn't get any She-Hulk. But if it's called She-Hulk, I want to see She-Hulk somewhere in there.
Right.
I mean, don't do like the first Godzilla movie, call the movie Godzilla, but he's only in the movie 11 minutes. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was rough.
Exactly.
That was
That was
rough.
2 hour,
horrible.
almost a 2-hour movie, and he's in the movie 11 minutes. There are YouTube videos to prove it. Somebody,
Well, let's see what let's see how she's looking right now. So here's a little scene, a little clip, little thing from the show. Let's run this. Check it out.
The point was to prevent me from turning into a Hulk.
These transformations are triggered by distressed emotional states, so we need to know the exact threshold that causes it for you. The triggers are anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
All right, then, let's try this.
Bruce! Kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die. You have a plan B for that?
Nope.
No? Not funny, Bruce. Wait, you're just gonna kill me? Come on! What if there's some... What do you normally use this chamber for, you psychopath?
Yeah. So it's just like a little more extended version of what we saw, but yeah, it looks fine. She looks
I
good to
couldn't
me.
really see too much of it. I only saw like a brief, so it looks alright. It was just a
Why?
bad line that she said. What was it? That was the baseline of any woman just existing. That's a really bad line and very inaccurate.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I never liked that line either. I thought it was kind of.
I thought the line was accurate. I thought the line was pretty accurate. So,
anger and what was the other emotion?
Fear, angry and scared. So
That's
women
not
are
the
just angry and scared.
That is
this is how they are.
inaccurate.
This is how they start. That's how women start off, angry and scared, and then from there, that's the baseline.
Listen, if you had a picnic and a bug flies up, all the women are gonna get scared and run. Okay.
Yeah, most people.
And then they're gonna be mad about it. And then they're gonna be mad about it.
But that's not the baseline. That's just in that moment. That's not a baseline.
Yeah, that's not. It's not to say women don't get mad and scared. She's saying that it's the baseline. That's how they start.
Yeah, which is inaccurate.
No, women are real cautious. There's nothing wrong with fear. I mean, I don't know why everybody looks at fear as being.
But that's not a baseline.
Fear keeps you in check. Yeah, fear keeps you in check.
Yeah, fear, but fear is caution, and fear is two different things.
Yeah, it's more caution than anything. Women are very cautious when it comes to things, man. Like,
but
they don't know.
They're not afraid and angry just to start, but
they tread more lightly than men do.
I with all of that, but it's not a baseline. She's saying it's a baseline, and I think that's inaccurate.
The joke fell a little bit.
I was like, oh no.
Like they trying too hard. Like I feel like they tried too hard for that joke. They probably could
Otherwise, it
have.
looked good.
She's a comedian.
I can see that. Her
Yeah,
comedic
yeah.
timing, at least from what I saw from like the trailer, looked pretty good. It looked pretty good. It looked like it hit.
Yeah, she's a decent comedian. I've seen her in something else, or maybe I just saw her doing comedy as a stand-up or something. But I knew her from something else. Have you guys seen her in anything before this?
No,
No.
I haven't. Not that I can
I
remember.
have not.
Well,
Yeah, I saw her in something. I saw her before this, but let me see. Well, so last summer, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings took a trip to an underground fighting ring where Shang-Chi saw Wong from Doctor Strange fighting Abomination from Incredible Hulk notoriety. So the appearance of Abomination in the film was the first time that the MCU had featured the character since 2008's Incredible Hulk, which we were just talking about the other day, which is a great film. A one-shot short film titled The Consultant had referenced the character since, but otherwise Abomination was seemingly all but a, thing of the past for a decade. And then, the She-Hulk writer Jessica Gao decided she wanted to feature him in the upcoming, movie show, getting Tim Roth back into, the Incredible Hulk role more than a decade later. And she said, so Abomination, Emil Blonsky was my original pitch, and at that point, the last time we saw him was in 2008, The Incredible Hulk. I had no idea what their relationship to this character was anymore. I don't know if anyone had any plans, but it was a story I wanted to tell, so I just put it in there. What's the worst that could happen? I don't get the job. Look, I've not gotten the job so many times at Marvel. It was like an old hat to me. I had no more fear. I was like the Daredevil. I was the woman with no fear now. Yeah, so with Abomination's She-Hulk in mind, she took her shot. She wrote the script with the character and waited to see what would happen. She said because he was built in to be such a big part of the show in the original pitch and in the writer's room, we really we were creating this whole story for him. Because everything in Marvel is connected, that's actually why he was then put in Shang-Chi, because he was in our show. That way it was kind of to seed him to so the people get excited about, but also remember him and kind of force people to go, oh, should I go back and check in on him and remember who he is and what he was all about? So yeah.
Seemed kind of unnecessary to put him in Shang-Chi to get him excited for She-Hulk. I feel like that's such an odd placement.
Yeah, that's an odd placement, but I get the idea of them doing it.
Right.
And I'm betting this show originally was supposed to come out probably closer to Shang-Chi. So, but the way MCU has gotten all discombobulated because of COVID, so we never know the way stuff was supposed to come out. I think it was supposed to come right out after Shang-Chi, but as for Abomination's future, there's no known plans for the character yet. But following the Marvel Studios presentation at San Diego Comic-Con, the movie, which is culminating Phase 5, might just be a safe bet for the world to see. Roth return to the role again. Thunderbolts will assemble a team of villains, and anti-heroes for some sort of ensemble mission, a la Suicide Squad, which should drop in July of 2024. But She-Hulk's Abomination... She-Hulk is probably the last time we'll see Abomination for a while. But I thought it's interesting because no one ever knew why Abomination was in Shang-Chi. Like, oh, that's cool. Is that Abomination? Like, what? Why? So yeah, this is interesting to know why. Now we know why. But yeah.
Boy. I'm just wondering if they're going to actually reference the events of the 2008 movie, because they've been acting like it doesn't exist. So I'm wondering if they're actually going to do that and continue his story from there, or just have a retcon. That's what I want to know, since he has such a big part in the show.
That's true. That's true.
Good question.
That's a good question, so yeah. I'd have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah. And as for Thunderbolts, Marvel Studios continues to bring MCU moves as the MCU moves closer to its Phase 5 slate, which is currently set to end with the Thunderbolts team up movie in 2024. Taking a big group of Marvel's darker anti-heroes and villains to throw them together into a big crossover event will be a new step forward for the MCU, with potential team members scattered all over, and we've probably seen a lot of them already. And Marvel likes to foreshadow, so we've seen these characters pop up in shows and movies here and there, even in just little tinies or even mentions or little cameos or whatever. But with nearly 2 years until Thunderbolts comes out, the story is still early in development under Black Widow writer Eric Pearson and director Jake Shearer. So we'll probably get some female Taskmaster in there, and so it'll be one of those. But maybe Luke Cage be in this one, and Abomination, and who was the blonde from Black Widow that they featured?
Yelena.
Yeah, I think
Yelena.
she'll be. Yeah,
She's probably
yeah,
going to be the selling point of the film. One of the selling points for sure.
Yeah,
Think so?
Yeah, because the actress is pretty big right now, and she, at least from what I've seen, she's like one of the most popular of that group. And of Phase 4, she's one of the more popular new characters. So yeah, her and Zemo, I would guess, are more so her than Zemo. I would guess.
And Jamila Jamil.
Oh, who is she playing?
She kind of looks like Angelina Jolie in this picture.
She's in the She-Hulk show, right?
She's gonna be in Thunderbolts, I guess. Yeah, let me see. See if I can throw this up on there for y'all.
She sounds so familiar.
Where's she at? There she is. All right. Yeah, she's looks like Angelina Jolie a lot.
Oh,
right there,
yes, her. Yes. Who is she playing in the She-Hulk show?
I don't know. She's in this article about Thunderbolts that I was reading earlier. Today though.
Yes. Oh, she's playing Tatiana. Wait, yeah, Tatiana, whatever her name is.
Yeah, Titania.
Titania. Why did I say it like that? Titania. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I say it like that?
Yep. And Falcon and Winter Soldier's Wyatt Russell shared his own hopes to be in the movie, seeing a place for the U.S. agent to return and show a new round of character development. And now coming straight from the world premiere event for the MCU's latest release, She-Hulk, that show's villain actress is Jamila Jamil. That's Titania, is going to be She-Hulk's villain. Okay. So she'll be She-Hulk's main. Yeah. That's right. So speaking with Comic Book, she touched on a potential team up for the MCU's coming Thunderbolts movie. When asked which character she thought Titania would like to annoy, she expressed her love for Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, saying that she wants to drive Deadpool crazy. She said, "I want to drive Deadpool crazy. I love Ryan Reynolds. I love Deadpool so much. There's so much for the MCU. The Thunderbolts, there's so many places that Titania can exist in the MCU because she's so messy and vile. She's pissed off most of the MCU, Spider-Man, Thor. She's got enemies everywhere, kind of like me in real life."
Oh, boy.
And then she went to reply replied to the report on Twitter, making it abundantly clear that this is something that she wants to happen instead of something that will happen. She wanted to make sure that she avoided getting into trouble with Feige.
Oh yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see her character in Thunderbolts, though. I could see that
for sure. Definitely.
Hopefully, it's as good as Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was good, both movies. They were great.
I just don't want like a diet Suicide Squad.
I
in
like the second
Thunderbolts,
one.
'cause that's like
Yeah,
not
Second
what they
one's way
are.
better.
It just doesn't make
They-
any sense.
yeah, they really have to be different. They have a lot to stand up to because they have to be as good as Suicide Squad, but different enough that it's not a diet version or something.
Yeah.
But
They
yeah,
just look to the
yeah.
source material. I think they'll be fine, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And Titania found herself in pretty close proximity to the Thunderbolts on one big occasion in the comics. Thunderbolts Volume 1, number 144. Steve Rogers gets Luke Cage to assemble a new version of the Thunderbolts before the other deadlier teams can form, and Titania doesn't play a huge role in the story, but that isn't stopping Jamila Jamil from imagining an MCU version where she's a more prominent figure within the team. But as for a mention of Deadpool, he's quickly becoming one of the MCU's hot topics thanks to his transition from 20th Century Fox's movies, and it appears that his opportunities for inclusion in the MCU are endless. I mean, it's Deadpool. They could literally do anything with him anytime they want to, and I think that they should start. They need to start popping Deadpool into other stuff. That's kind of what he does. But Wade Wilson has a slightly bigger history with the Thunderbolts, with 2 comic runs together in Deadpool 9 and 10 and Thunderbolts 129 to 131. And he's also had a couple of stories alongside Titania in other parts of the comic world. So them, meeting up in the MCU is not out of the question. And with Reynolds rumored to become arguably one of the MCU's biggest players over the coming years, there's no question that he and Jamil could find their way into a project together at some point. Of course, Deadpool 3 could be still some time away from its debut, though theories have pointed to February 2024 slot in the MCU's Phase 6, I think, ahead of Thunderbolts. So that may be where Deadpool 3 goes. And should that prove to be true, the stage would be set for this meeting to potentially take place in Thunderbolts. And who knows how wacky and wild things could get between the two after that. But like I said, Thunderbolts might release July 26, 2024. Jamila Jamil will kick off her run in She-Hulk tonight. And, Ryan Reynolds is in the early stages of training for his Deadpool 3 role. Because they got to train, bro. They go through some rigorous shit.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah. Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2 reveals official art for 8 main characters.
I saw it. It was very interesting.
Oh, I have not seen that artwork.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it up here for you guys. And then we're gonna do some John Paul Leon action. Let's see. Here we go. That should do it. Click, click, clack, clack. There you go. All right, so there is Mbaku. Here, let's back up. So there is wait. All right, art for the Black Panther 2 cast. Letitia Wright Shuri, who sports a new haircut and bright purple outfit. And then you got Lupita Nyong'o's Nakia. She's awesome.
That's a lot of lines. They always do the most with the lines in the suit every time.
Yeah. And then, of course, Okoye pretty much looks the same.
Yeah.
Probably some different detail, smaller detail, but for the most part. And then Mbaku. Yeah. And there's Alex Levani, who plays Atuma.
Nice.
Yeah, he looks pretty cool with the hammerhead shark on his head. He's got the shark teeth going around his neck piece on his boots. That's pretty dope. Yeah, he's all sharked out, shark teeth and shit. And then name more.
Name more.
Yeah.
The wings.
Aztec name more. Yeah, there's the wings. The wings are there on the feet.
Oh, I love the wings.
And there's a little known fact that his wings were actually gills to help him.
Really?
Yeah, to
Wow.
help him breathe underwater and to breathe
Huh.
in the deeper depths of the water. Reed Richards
I know that.
after they got ripped off of him. Reed Richards examined them. Yeah, and he put them on. And he said that they were more like gills than instruments of flight, even though they helped him fly. They
That's
served
funny.
more as a purpose to help him breathe water
Nice.
than anything else.
Oh, this is Namora. Oh.
This is Namora. Yeah, and she's got the feathers on top, and so the Atlanteans are blue. Is that what that is? Well, I guess Atuma's blue. She's blue, but Namor is definitely not blue.
Yeah, because he's a hybrid, so
Yes.
That's So I guess they're gonna do pure blue for the pure bloods. The blue bloods. There you go. And she's got the Aztec feathers. You know what's interesting? These feathers almost look more like lionfish fins to me.
really.
That's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are.
Am I right?
Yeah, because I don't know any bird that swims underwater.
I mean, but it says Mabel Cadena's Namor looks ready for action with a flashy feathered crown atop a head razor. Yeah, I don't think they've realized those aren't feathers; those are fins. Those are lionfish fins. And then, yeah, okay. So Jesus Christ. Last but certainly not least is Dominique Thorne's Riri Williams, who looks to be wearing her Iron Man or her Mark I uniform, which features a large arc reactor in the middle of her chest. The suit in Wakanda Forever is a lot more rudimentary than the one seen in Ironheart, which is a bit more reminiscent of the classic Iron Man design. No, it isn't.
Yeah, that
It
looks ugly. I
Yeah.
don't like that.
Well, yeah,
Well,
and you can see that this is sort of
in the comic, that's how she got noticed. She actually built her own suit out of spare parts that
Right.
she gathered from wherever she can get them from. That's what made Tony so impressed with her, was the fact that she did that. He was like, "Damn, she
built
built
it on
that."
her own.
Yeah, and it was better than my first Iron Man suit. And so after that,
Yeah, of
he was
course.
just like, "Yo, you're a lot smarter than you look. You need to be over here." The rest is history.
Yeah, I just
You're
don't
smarter.
like that. It just doesn't look good. And then the goggles, like I just
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
I don't
It's-
like
it-
the goggles. Mm,
yeah, because it looks it's too big. It's too bulky.
yeah.
Too mechy. Because her suit's very sleek in the comics, and even I saw her like her. This is Mark I. I guess I saw her Mark II suit in live action form, and it looks like a big ass mech suit. It doesn't look like an Iron Man suit. So yeah, I'm not. But hey, listen, I was never a fan of Riri Williams comic. I was never. So it's not. I don't know. Like the comic world just went nuts over Riri Williams comics, because they just knew it was going to be the next big thing, and so guys were rushing out, buying all the Riri they could, and they did the same thing with Kamala Khan and America Chavez, but nobody reads them. They just collect them because they know they're going to be valuable. But who actually cares about these characters? Who's reading these
I
characters?
don't.
And you're probably the target demographic.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's what makes the character go down, is because they're not reading it, and then they
I
collect
don't
so
care about
much, and
her.
then
I
you're
don't
like,
care about Kamala.
then it goes, yeah, you gotta keep supporting it if you want it to be big and you want to make money off it. You gotta keep supporting it.
Yeah. Well, let's see. All right. Clack, clack. There we go. So, Jimmy was in the building. What's good, Jimmy?
Jimmy, what's up?
Oh.
I like the red firefish style. Nice. So, yeah. So, okay. So our main focus I wanted to talk about is John Paul Leon, and to start off, showing you guys some of his artwork. There's his Batmans and Penguin and Two-Face, yeah, and Joker and Harley.
Ooh, nice. I really like Two-Faces. That's dope.
Yeah. And his style here, I mean, you can see it's unique. It's almost, but it's very
Ooh,
recognizable. Like when you see his work, you know that's JP Leon. There's Beta Ray, there's Constantine,
nice.
there's Static.
I actually have that comic.
Oh yeah,
Batman.
yeah. There's Batman. But
He
yeah,
also
I mean,
did Mother Panic. He also did Batman and Mother Panic. I have that comic as well.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Yeah, I showed it to you guys a while ago. I don't know what I did with it. That Mother Panic was a newer character. They got the Hit
Hit
Girl.
Girl.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope. I like that.
Yeah. His style reminds me of like old 40s art for some reason. You know, it's I don't know, it's just got this classic sort of vibe to it. There's Daredevil. That's great.
Nice.
Those Dracula.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah. That mansion in the background is great. Some Batmans. He has a ton of Batman work. So and there's
Instantly
Falcon and
love
Winter
it.
Soldier. Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, you can't. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I love those
Gorgeous.
two together. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Jean Grey. This is great. Look at Harrison Ford. So that's Blade Runner.
Oh.
And looks like, I mean, dude, shit looks like a photograph. I mean, he captures it perfectly. There's Berserker, John Wick, or Keanu Reeves, Joint. There's some more Static, Ragnarok. There's Black Bolt.
Mm.
He did Cap.
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Nice.
Static.
Yeah, I think that's one of his villains right there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No,
Big
that's interesting.
ogreish. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Big ogre type Captain America. He's got like a flag wrapped around. It's almost like a Hulk Captain America or something.
Yeah, it might
Big
just been
barbarian type.
Might have just did a different take. Might be a different take on Cap.
Yeah.
Like his own version.
Mm-hmm. I seen this somewhere. Where did I just see that? I just saw that.
Oh, that's
something.
dope.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's from Static Rebirth. I think that's Constantine. This is a great spaghetti
I
western.
love the use of
That's Clint Eastwood at the top.
watercolor. It looks like watercolor.
Oh, that's the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, it's good, bad, ugly, and you can see the scene right there. You can see the two panels at the bottom. It's dope. There's some covers. I had this one. He did Logan. Wolverine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Dang.
Doctor Strange. That was dope.
Oh, I wish his
shit's
cape were like that in the movies.
Yeah,
It
let me
was
see if I
like,
can find
Yeah.
Mother Panic.
Me too, Slaughter. Galacti.
I
oh,
like
that's
that.
dope.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
sick. Magnus. Love that.
Ooh, nice.
So Time Before Time was a great comic. On Image too. That was a really good read too. If you're looking for anything good to read, Time Before Time is recommended. There's
I will
Havoc.
put that on my list.
Yeah. Yeah, so John Paul Leon didn't create Static, but he's known for his work on Static. Michael Davis actually, and the rest of the Milestone guys that created Static. But it's funny because Michael Davis was his accounts were hacked, and they put it out that he killed himself and that he died.
Oh my
And it was
god.
like a mix up. Yeah, but he didn't. And then it was like, but then John Paul Leon died, and they were both connected to Static. And so there was this big rumor, and it got all misconstrued, and they didn't know who died, and it was crazy. But yeah, so but Big Paul, man, big shout out to big John Paul Leon, man. Phenomenal artist. You know, gave us some amazing work. But he passed away. He was 49,
Wow.
following a 14-year battle with cancer. He was universally admired as an artist and as a person. You know, this was a true blow to the community. His family and studio mates released the following statement on his passing, and a GoFundMe has been set up to fund his teenage daughter's future endeavors. It says John Paul Leon, one of the most revered and masterful artists and storytellers in the comic book industry, passed away Sunday morning at 10 a.m., May 2nd, 2021. After a 14-year battle with cancer, he was surrounded by family and friends in his last moments, fighting for his life, much like many of the superhero stories he crafted over his celebrated career spanning 3 decades. John Paul's bold and dramatic work was best exemplified in the critically acclaimed Earth X, a maxi series which redefined the Marvel Comics universe. As the original artist on Static, which laid the foundation for the Milestone DC Comics universe. His creator owned the Wintermen series about a Cold War era super soldiers, and Batman Creature of the Night, a passion project deconstructing the iconic Dark Knight. He started drawing comics professionally at the age of 19 while he was studying illustration at School of the Visual Arts at the School of Visual Arts in New York City. On RoboCop, prime suspect for Dark Horse Comics. He worked JP's first published work. However, it debuted in the pages of TSR Dungeons and Dragons when he was a high school student at the New World School of Arts in Miami. While a SVA, John Paul studied under one of his childhood idols, Walter Simonson. I'm honored to have JP's Ragnarok cover framed and hanging in front of our front hallway, says Walter. It's a constant reminder to do better every day and try to make myself into the best artist I can. John Paul's work was impactful and impressive, and in his personal life, he was very private and humble. To him, his ultimate goal was to build a body of work that would earn the respect of his peers. To his peers and friends, it was how he lived as a human that was most inspirational. As a teenager, whenever you rode with him in his car, he forbid the radio being on so that you could appreciate to the true sound of the engine. JP's is survived by his wife, daughter, and older brother. In lieu of gifts, a GoFundMe page has been set up to fund his daughter's future educational pursuits. So he was a SVA graduate, but by the time he was a junior, he was already penciling Static Shock, a tribute to his immense talent and professionalism, as recounted by his teacher, Walt Simonson. Walt Simonson said, "This one is tough to write. John Paul Leon caught the last train out this morning. JP was a brilliant artist, and I was lucky enough to be his teacher at SVA in the early 90s. It's not that I taught him anything. It's just that the other students and I got to watch such a talent blossom. Shortly into his junior year, he scored the penciling job on the new comic Static for the new company Milestone Comics. So he was carrying a full load of classes as well as penciling 22 pages and a cover every month." Wow, he wrote a long, he wrote a really long thing here about him. But yeah, he touched a lot of people. But among his other signature works, Earth X is a 12-issue mini issue Marvel on Marvel.
I remember that.
Earth X was great.
That's back like late 90s. That's like late 90s Earth X. I remember because it was a big thing.
Earth X was big.
But I don't think it was a big deal for them. But I think, it just got lost in Lost in the sauce, but it was big for them. They thought it was a big thing.
Oh yeah, Earth X was dope. Yeah, it was 1999. It was just a limited series. But it was really good. I used to own it, the whole thing. I had the whole thing. But it was 1999 that it came out. And it was written by Jim Kruger and art by John Paul Leon. Based on Alex Ross's notes, the series features a dystopian version of the Marvel universe. So it's like a post-apocalyptic or version of Marvel where um it um the Earth X is a number of planets implanted with a gestating celestial egg. About 10 years after the end of the heroic age, Black Bolt releases the mutagenic Terrigen mists into Earth's atmosphere, seeking to transform humanity into inhumans so that his people would not suffer persecution. He blinded Uatu. Yeah, he blinded Uatu, the Watcher, to prevent him from witnessing his actions. Uh, and Black Bolt and the Inhumans leave Earth. And unable to operate his observation equipment, Uatu transports X-51 Machine Man, who has long since given up superheroics to imitate the life of his human creator, to the moon to act as Earth's new Watcher. X-51 gets increasingly annoyed at Uatu's assurance of the hero's defeat. After killing Red Skull, Captain America quits the Avengers, considering himself unfit for the team. Shortly afterward, Reed Richards constructs a worldwide network of vibranium power centers to solve the looming energy crisis, but the experiment fails when one of Reed's scientists falls into the reactor, causing a worldwide explosive chain reaction. The scientist that fell into the reactor became encased with vibranium and discovered that she can manipulate the rare metal, becoming the Iron Maiden. The Terrigen mists began mutating Earth's human population though much of the world blames Plague X on Richard's failed experiment. They called it Plague X, but it was the Terrigen mists. I remember this whole thing. It was crazy, and it affected other stuff. Like this mini series Earth X actually affected stuff in the Marvel universe in other comics and stuff. Benny Beckley, the young son of Comet Man, gains the ability to control the actions of others and becomes known as Skull. Nearly all the world's telepaths are killed by the backlash caused by Beckley's power manifestation. Meanwhile, Doctor Doom and Namor, the Submariner, fight the Fantastic Four. Doom is killed in an explosion along with Susan Richards. Namor kills Johnny Storm. Franklin Richards responds by cursing Namor, causing one side of his body to burst into flame upon contact with air, forcing Namor back into the ocean. A distraught Reed Richards dons Doom's armor and exiles himself to Castle Doom in Latveria. So you've got Reed Richards as Doom. You got Namor. He can't come out of the ocean or he'll burst into flames.
He'll turn into Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And soon after, then the Absorbing Man absorbs Ultron. The Vision defeats the Absorbing Man with the computer virus. Attempting to isolate the virus, turning to stone, the Absorbing Man is shattered by the Vision after murdering the Avengers. Absorbing Man's pieces are scattered amongst the world's leaders so that he can never be reassembled. Norman Osborn manipulates America into electing him president by using alien DNA to create the Hydra, a parasite collective that mind controls his host bodies, and grants Tony Stark, one of the last unmutated humans, political asylum in exchange for constructing robotic replicas of the fallen Avengers to battle the Hydra menace. It's crazy. It's dope.
God.
Though. It's a cool ass story, man, and it's there's a lot more to it. I mean, a whole lot.
Sounds
It's very in depth. Yeah, it is. It's very insane. And the art was just so fucking cool. John Paul Leon, man, it just looked so dope, and the story was just really cool. Earth X was great. Definitely underrated. It should be rated much higher. Yeah, John Paul Leon learned from the masters Toth, Simonson, Mobius, but infused every line with his own unique humanity. His static was had a really like bursting with like a youthful energy that was perfect for the book, but never lost that fresh, enthusiasm. And I don't know, man. It just he did Batman and Catwoman special. He just did a lot of stuff that and people don't know about this dude, man. They don't talk about him enough. He's just very underrated. So I just wanted to spotlight him, man, a little bit and just you know, put some new fans on his stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like his static too.
Yeah.
The same here.
Yeah. He so they like they didn't know how he died, I guess, at first.
Yeah. Colon cancer. I heard from what I read.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say he was young, 49. Like,
Yeah,
Same age
dude.
as me. He was
Yeah,
born the same year I was born. He was
exactly.
born, I think, August. I was born in November. So yeah, we're the same age. Or 49.
Yeah.
So he would have been 50 this.
Yeah. But he's considered as one of the Milestone Comics universe architects. He's known as like one of the main guys. And this is, I mean,
The original.
these are the guys that created Static. These four guys here. They created Static and Milestone, and those are the four brothers
Like I said, I remember when
that's
Milestone came out. It was a big thing. I
credited
mean,
for that.
it was
Oh yeah.
huge. It was
Oh yeah.
huge. Because we finally got, those guys asked the question, why are there not any more superheroes of color? Like, why do all the
Yeah.
superheroes have to be, white, square jawed? They were like, not that we got
Right.
anything against them, but it's real disproportionate
Yeah,
how many
to
are
reality.
African. Yeah,
Yeah.
to reality.
How-
So it was
how-
like, look, they're like, look, we're gonna create our own universe, and that's what they did. So, but it got popular, like it blew up overnight, and
oh yeah, I remember
they
reading
were putting
about
out
like
comics.
it exploded.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was great. And then
Yeah.
DC was like, well, it's so great, we got to buy it because if not, it's cutting some of our revenue. And they bought it and shelved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they never do anything with the Dakotaverse. Never, nothing. They talk about
Yeah,
it. They
pretty
make
much
mentions to it,
nothing.
but they don't do any. I mean, and a lot of people were saying, right now DC doesn't know what direction to go with
Oh,
Superman, Batman, or whatever in the comics. If they were smart, they would push the Dakotaverse to the front for about a year or two, give Superman and Batman a break, Wonder Woman, and just exploit those heroes. I mean, it's a whole new market. It's a
Yeah,
whole
and
new set of heroes.
they're always so, concerned with representation, but it's like instead of gender race swapping characters, you've got all these dope characters that are already black or whatever. So
All right, you got a Batman,
what are you
that's
doing?
hardware. You got a Superman, that's Icon, Static. You know what I'm saying? You got Blood Syndicate. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, bro.
oh yeah,
There's
but they
no-
never do that. They would.
Well, no, not scrap. I mean, no, definitely they would never scrap the big three or the Justice League or anything like that. But give some spotlight to these other characters. I mean, you can have your Justice League movie, but why can't Milestone characters be in that? Can't they be in the same universe?
Oh
They
yeah,
are in the
I
same
would hope
universe.
so down the line.
They're in
They,
Dakota
but they
City.
can't even get
They're
the
just in
Justice League right. So I have no faith in them even getting Dakotaverse right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
they're in
kinda
Dakota
tree.
City, so yeah, they're in the same universe. Trust me.
Yeah. So then, yeah, there's no reason that they can't bring them into their current movie projects. I understand though, like you said, Sada, they got to get their shit together before they can start getting creative with it.
Because
But
that's what happened now. They tried to branch out and give other characters spotlight, and it just ended up not making sense. So
right.
I feel like do the big three, do the Justice League, and then let's bring in other characters.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
agreed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. These are some of my favorites. The aesthetic is dope.
Yeah, that is great. I love that.
Yeah, I had the Mother Panic that he did. I just
I
can't
like the
find it. I don't
Logan.
know what I did with it. I
I
know I
love that.
showed it to you
That
guys.
Doctor
I just
Strange
don't
one is so good.
Hell yeah, I
That
love
is.
the Strange one.
Yeah,
And
that
this
strange
one,
one.
I like that. Something about that. It's just dope. That Joker. And then Magneto is one of my favorite characters. And that's dope. Yeah, these are really good.
Yeah, that Doctor Strange one is awesome. I love that one.
Yeah. First show. Wait. Get off there. There we go. The Dakota verse is super dope.
I agree.
Dakota verse.
Yeah. Too bad we didn't get a lot of it.
No. But yeah, I mean, JPL, man. Like I said, one of the milestone artists, and architects, the guy behind Statics, the run, and then of course he did the Earth X thing. He, and his work also includes the adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix. So he's done a lot of X-Men, a lot of mutant stuff, Challengers of the Unknown, and the Wintermen. But yeah, he was previously nominated for an Eisner for his work on the short story Black Death in America, alongside Tom King, which appeared in Vertigo CMYK Black issue. He additionally provided many unforgettable covers for and variant covers for Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, Detective Comics, Hellblazer, Mother Panic, like you said, Stu DMZ, and therefore the Law Officer of Babylon. In addition to his comic work, he provided style guides for the DC Universe's movies Superman Returns, Batman Begins, Inexperienced Lantern, and therefore The Dark Knight. More recently, his work included the 4-issue miniseries Batman Creature of the Night, a story with King and Dave Stewart on the upcoming Batman and Catwoman special is due to be released in July, according to the comic book. So Tom King's Batman run is dope, and that's where I recognized his Batman art from. So Tom King, Catwoman, Batman, something else too. I got a box of them over there, but yeah, that Batman is dope. Yeah, and a lot of people, man, a lot of artists in the community just like went nuts when he passed, but yeah, check it. Look out for his stuff, man. Look out for his art and his comics. It's good shit.
It is. It is.
Yep.
Can't take that away from him.
Speaking of good shit, man, the G.I. Joe classified series, man, they're dropping some fire joints, bro. These Viper. Oh my god, bro. Stu, you gotta see these fucking.
I mean, I would like to buy them, but we'll never get our hands on it.
Oh yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I got everyone on this. Yeah, I got the Croc. That's Croc Master.
I mean, yeah, I'm not Croc Master. I don't know why I'm saying Croc. Killer Croc, Spirit, Storm Shadow.
Storm Shadow, Spirit, and the Viper. Python Squad, or whatever it was. Python. Remember, G.I. Joe had Tiger Force, and then Cobra had Python something. But
Python.
yeah. So I got the Spirit, and I got the Crocmaster, and I got the Storm Shadow
Pre-order.
on the way. Yeah, no, ordered. They're on the way. They're already out, so you can order them now. You can get them for like
Well,
$20.
I pre-ordered Spirit, Storm Shadow, and somebody else. It was like 4 of them I pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Classic ones.
Well, they should be out. I mean, you should be getting them. They should be out. Wherever you pre-ordered them, hit them up because they got them. They should have them.
Yeah, I went to GameStop. They said one of them isn't out. One of them comes out this month. One comes out. I think Spirit is this month. Storm Shadow's next month. They got a
Storm
new
Shadow's
Snake
out.
Eyes coming out. Or one of them. Then it's vice versa. Storm Shadow comes out this month.
I thought it was out.
I just went the other day because I
They
was
got
like,
them.
oh, I
Yeah.
ordered these joints back in the spring, and they were saying summer they'd be out. I was like, oh, I need my Storm Shadow on my Spirit.
Yeah, I need to need my joints, man. I need my joints.
Yeah, it was a dope.
Yeah.
It was a dope.
Yeah, those retro card back joints are fire.
I keep
Where
seeing
they
those.
Yeah, basically it's I mean, this is one right here. This is well, there they go right there. Well, there's the old card back. So you see how the classic figures used to look, the little short ones, but then they repackaged, or there's one right there. So this is Baroness. I think this is a classified one, but so they make the new classified figures, but they put this kind of old
Oh, the
classic
old
packaging.
package. That
Yeah.
I'm thank because that's what we want. That's how you should have been
Yeah.
packaging it from the grip.
I know, but they're doing it for a special, like a select few. But the gung ho, I want that gung ho, but the one
I seen
figure I'm waiting
Bazooka.
on, bro,
Seen
that they
Bazooka
haven't
the
even
other day.
mentioned, bro. I don't know why they haven't created Tunnel Rat yet, but yeah, Bazooka's out,
Or Shipwreck. Oh, you got a Shipwreck, yeah.
Yeah, we ain't got Shipwreck or Tunnel Rat, but they're coming. They'll do Shipwreck. I mean, they did Dusty already. What the fuck? It's some of the ones, dude, the ones they pick. It's like, why are you pick? It's amazing to me. Like, it really blows my mind. The ones they pick, like Alley Viper. Like, I bought the Alley Viper. I think it's dope, but it was such an odd one to choose. Like, that was a weird.
I like
that
the
was
Alley Viper. Alley Viper was
dope.
popular when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I like that one, but I can't find one. I gotta drive like 60 miles out of my area to find freaking Retro Classified.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I sent you some pictures from Walmart the other day. Last night.
That Batman was dope. I wanted that Batman.
Bro, I wish I could get that. But if you want me to pick them up for you, man, just let me know. I'll buy them for you.
You know, his Walmart has everything. So.
Right.
I know. Yeah, you should have picked up that Batman for me, man.
Yeah.
Cash that to
I will.
That's
I got you.
That's what you call it. Because your Walmart has everything. I need to move the way you live at, man, to get something. Anything, man. My Walmart is just butt naked, dry, nothing, shelves of nothing but Buzz Lightyear, just Buzz Lightyear stuff.
Yeah, they got a lot of
Buzz
stuff.
Lightyear. I got you. Yeah, I get you anything you want, Buzz Lightyear. Speaking of Buzz, do you know that they in European countries they said that the movie is, I think they moved the rating up to like PG or PG-13 or something like that. Yeah, like it was like
for what?
I guess for some countries, it's just a little. I watched the movie; it was great. It was super good. But people die in it. Buzz is, but not like get killed, but like I don't know, like they die. Like Buzz goes forward in time, and he comes back, and they die, like they talk about people dying and things like that. And, there's a gay couple in it, and they have a baby.
That's probably why.
It's a lot, man. But it was good though. I mean, I can't say it wasn't. I'm gonna have to watch it again. I thought it was great. I thought it was excellent. It was super
the movie.
Funny. Yeah, Lightyear.
You saw Lightyear?
Yeah, I seen it on Disney Plus. Bro, it was super funny.
Ooh, I'm glad.
And it was better than Obi-Wan.
Oh, really?
I feel like there's a lot that could beat out Obi-Wan.
That's tough.
Yeah, nah, Buzz Lightyear. If you get a chance, watch Buzz Lightyear. It's worth the watch. I ain't gonna lie. It is a must watch.
Dude,
It's
these
definitely a must watch.
motherfuckers, man. Yeah, I had pre-ordered that Storm Shadow and that Croc Master, and it says they'll be available September 1st at GameStop.
All I know is they better have mine, so it's gonna be a problem.
Because right now, if you go on their website, it says currently unavailable Storm Shadow. It don't say pre-order. It don't. So you can't even pre-order them now. They're all sold out. So once they drop September 1st, everybody that pre-ordered it has to collect. But what's shitty is though, when you pre-ordered it, they don't take the money yet. They don't take the money until the thing comes out. So
Ooh.
yeah. So
Well,
if
see, I
you
paid.
depending on how you budget
I
your
don't know. They
shit.
wanted like because they be like put $5 down. I just put down. I put down $30.
When you went in the store, see, I did it online.
Oh
When you go
yes,
in the
yeah.
store, you can put some money in it, but online you can't put no money on it. So when I had the money to get all of them, I pre-ordered them all, thinking that they were going to take the money off my card, and I thought they did. Well, I think they did, but then they give it back to you. It's like they take the money to make sure you got it.
That's
I
bizarre.
guess it's to
pre-order,
hold it.
and then
I
they
guess
give it
it's to
back.
hold it. Yeah. I guess
Yeah,
to
but
hold
don't give
you
it
know?
back to me. Keep the fucking money and just send me the goddamn thing when it comes
That's why I
out.
go.
Fuck.
When you told me that, that's why I went to the store and did it. So I put $15 on each one. So when I go pick them up, I just gotta give them $10 and the tax, and I'm good. $10 plus tax, and I'm good.
But I like how Storm Shadow comes with the bow and arrow, and then he comes with the the quiver with the arrows in it. But then he actually comes with a loose arrow. They've never done that before, a loose arrow. So that's cool. And then he got the two swords, and then he's got the hood. The hood is a cool feature, I guess. If I don't know though, I like that Storm Shadow didn't have a hood. The hood didn't come out until the Storm Shadow with the gray camouflage. So, and that's the one I'm waiting on. When they make that classified, I'll be able to die happy, man. That's my favorite figure. That's my favorite character. Is the version 2 Storm Shadow. And yeah, man, hopefully they'll make one of those. They got to make it right though. They can't fuck that up. But yeah. But yeah, guys, that is our show, man. We are an hour and 28 minutes in, and we'll be back. We'll be back Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know where to catch us here every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here for you until my schedule changes. But yeah, guys, man, thank you guys for coming and chilling and talking with us and hanging out, and we'll see you guys soon. Oh, and don't forget to go on Instagram and check out the Madmen of Comics. They're doing some big things. Just type in Madmen of Comics in Instagram and check out the promotions and shit we're doing. It's amazing. Giving away a box of 25 9.8 slabs absolutely free. And the raffle spots are free. You just shop with us, buy comics from us, and every $50 you spend on comic books with us gets you a free raffle spot on that prize wheel. And December 9th, we're going to spin the wheel. Whoever's name it lands on, you're going to get a box of 25 9.8 slabbed up joints. All good to go. So don't miss out on that, man. All you got to do is buy comic books from us, and you can stack up as many spots on the prize wheel as you want between now and December 9th. Every time you every $50 you spend on comics, that's going to give you a free raffle spot. Now, also, I am going to be selling some of the comics you see here on this wall. Well, pretty much everything on that wall and the stuff in these boxes. So if you're interested, let me know. Maybe Saturday during our Saturday show, I'll open it up here on YouTube, live, you guys can actually, you know, buy some books, comics, check them out, you know, pick out what you want. All this shit's got to go. Make room for new stuff. So plan on Saturday, man, having your PayPal and your Cash App loaded up, ready to buy some comics, and we'll break out the box, man. You guys can pick through it. So all right, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace. Peace.
Peace.